Hello, everyone. Glad you're here. Um,
Hello.
yes, I have Astrid Aseda here
Yeah.
and
Sadaya.
Sadaya, sorry. Um, and Ash was born in the Philippines,
Mhm.
okay? And you majored in computer science,
Yes.
okay? And you were very passionate about music um,
hmm
as a singer in a rock band.
Yes. Since I was a kid.
So, yeah, right? And
Mhm.
you were also a international rugby player and surfer,
Ye- Yes.
and you still surf, correct?
Yes. Well, I wasn't international player for surfing, but I did compete locally. And I'm still
Okay,
surfing, yeah.
awesome. And you are also a professional artist and a
Yeah.
an art life coach certified in
hmm
January 2024,
Yes.
and also a business owner. And you work with the
hmm
local vendors.
Yes, I do.
Okay, you've also written 3 books. I
Yes.
also thought, okay, I
Yeah.
see poetry. This ebook
hmm
is now available for sale,
hmm
and meditation, cigarettes, and all that bullshit. Okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed this one a lot.
It sounds like it
Mhm.
was a lot of fun. Also, you have the two publications, The Art of Love and Living, and I See Poetry and Art.
Yes, that's correct. Which I just recently updated. It used to be just poetry, but now yeah, I feel like I can include my art there as well. So
Wow. And the last thing that I see here is that now you have a new travel log. Okay.
Mhm.
Astrid a set of travels, okay?
Mhm.
And I will make sure to add a link to that in this video. And
All
and
right,
you're
sure.
talking here about traveling through poetry.
Yes. Well, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, that was while I was living, well, first when I was living in the island in Siargao. It's a small island, and I started making my poems there. And then for 2 years, I was just writing 1 to 2 poems a week. And then while I was traveling, I was doing the same. So it's mostly inspired by living in the sea, living in the island. Well, not in the sea, but by the sea. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing because this month we're talking about legacy and succession. And I
Mhm.
know you just had a birthday, and if I'm not mistaken, you're 35.
Yes. I just turned
So
35.
all right. So I know it may be a little bit too early to talk about succession and legacy, but
Mhm.
when we think about these things, what would you say come to mind?
Wow. I guess it's just something that you leave behind, like something that makes a big impact, a difference. Something that gives give something meaningful to people, I think.
Okay. So in your work, uh talk to me about this meaning.
Okay. All right. So first, let me start with what's this? The business, because I've been doing this since I was since the pandemic. I started it. Actually, I mentioned this in one of my posts. I was I was given the positive result as it, with COVID, but I didn't really feel anything. But yeah, I had to take a break from work for 2 weeks. I was quarantined, and then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I don't want to be unproductive, so I started making this business. So fast forward, um, I connect with the local laborers and local artists, like so we collaborate so that I can help the local businesses, and it also helps me. and I enjoy using that art. So it's not always yeah, like when people start a business, they're of course you're thinking about like making money and all that, but for me, I want to also be able to give back and help out. So with that, like even for local events in the island, if there are like fundraisers or something like that, I try to even sponsor if just some small items from my business, you know, if it helps like kids to learn surfing or skating or something that can put them to do what they love. So yeah, that's one thing that I really try to give meaning to through my business. And then also with surfing, I also went to this so one of my friends started creating this was this organization where they let kids use the surfboards if they help out and clean the beach, and if they prove to have like yes, if they prove to have like good grades, they're going to school, then they give them the opportunity to use the surfboard. So I helped my friend out when she started it. I donated, well, I lent my surfboards for them to use, and now they're actually really big. I'm so proud of my friend, and I'm so happy for the kids and everything because the organization is very well known in the Philippines, and a lot of people have supported them, and really it's great to see this thing. So yeah, I'm just really from the things I do, I want to be able to to try to squeeze my way in to be able to help others. Yeah. So that's it.
And
Yeah.
I and that's great. I can see that in your work and in your publication and everything that you do. You are a highly productive person, and so when do you find time to to do things for yourself?
Well, so that's the thing. That's exactly what I am trying to write about and talk about because it's really important to I mean it's very cliche, but to love what you do and to do what you love. And it's not also just about selfishness, like, okay, I want to do this and I'm gonna aim for this, but also find ways to help others and let others you know, be inspired and stuff. So what I do is I really yeah, it's I don't even have to find ways to do other things because I'm already doing the things that I want to do, and it's and as I also mentioned earlier in my post, I'm not making a lot of money, but it's just enough for me to, to continue doing what I enjoy, being in nature, surfing, traveling from time to time if I get the chance. But also, yeah, it's like even for my business, I'm already helping out the local businesses. And then like if there are even with some what's this calamities like the typhoon, the pandemic. I always try to find ways to even just by organizing a donation drive, just posting, like really posting online is very, very strong. And some people believe that, oh, you're just sharing, you're not contributing, you're just sharing the post. But actually sharing a post can really reach so many people. And I've done that before, and even just sharing something on my story in Instagram, and then a friend of mine will share it to the next, and people donate like from all around the world, and it's so good. And just being having that initiative to collect this donation and give it to the people who need it, and especially here in the Philippines because our currency is very small, and if you convert it from the US or Europe, like here it's so much, so you can really help a lot. And I've I'm very impressed with the power of this. And yeah, I always try to do that. And it's not just me, even my friends, my closest friends, they do the same. They also have their own businesses, and they also try to organize these things. And every year, especially in Christmas, we always organize, me and my family and friends, we organize this feeding program. And it's always about giving back. And once you have, you look back the whole year, you see how blessed you are. You have to think about giving back, you know? It's not just about you. So this is that's everything I like I really want to put out there, you know.
Absolutely. Now, I couldn't agree more, and that's the reason why I do what I have done as well through my years of service with the military, and I've also tried to translate that into my coaching practice and my personal in my life.
Mhm.
Talk to me about these three books that you've written. How many of those were self-published?
So if I would say like when it comes to because all three of them I've put them all together myself, design, writing, of course, and the design and layout, and trying to really connect with a publisher to print. So I've done that all, but it's only this third book. Oh no, it's only the second book, Icy Poetry, that I actually included some marketing. So the company also like created posters and bookmarks, and they also um, advertised in their website and all. So that's good. But for I call Surfs Up, and for this third book, it's really just I just went to the company to print, and I have to do the marketing. I have to do everything.
Okay.
So it's gonna
Okay.
be tough, but yeah. In the end, it's really I try to remind myself that I'm not doing this like from the start. I didn't start doing this to make money anyway. I started this because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to do it. So with my first book as a memoir, I wanted to express myself, and it has been a dream since I was younger to publish a book. So this was a perfect debut. And then the poetry thing, it really helped me express myself while I was in the island, come back to my love of poetry because I gave up for years. You know, I stopped when I was in high school, college. So when I came back to it, it was wonderful to push myself to keep writing poems. And then the third one is also something that I feel like it was for me and for others because I experienced this, you know, transformation from being in a very bad place in my life. Like I've it was I was really depressed and everything, and I wanted to show how what I did and how much how much I've been through and show it to everyone, you know. And it might be very unorthodox as you can see with the title, but it's also my way of showing people like, you know, it's when people hear healing, some people think it's too, you know, it's too feminine or like it's very, you know, dramatic, but it's like when healing is for everyone, it's for, you know, all types of people, all so I wanted to show that, you know, me being this vulgar person, I was also in a very bad place and, you know, I just wanted to show the real me. So yeah, again, so back to the to the point. Um, yeah, it's I self-published this, and I wanted to remind myself that it was, you know, out of expression, and again to help others. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I self-published a book long time ago. It's on Amazon. I think I got five people to read it, and I never really did anything with it. I just did it
Mhm.
just to say that I authored a book.
Yeah.
Okay,
True.
but I have been thinking about writing another book myself. So, you got published versus self-published. So, talk to us. What advice would you give to someone looking to write a book?
Wow. Well, okay. So here's one thing I also wanted to mention. Just for the past week or so, I've already had two friends who messaged me and told me, "Hey, you know, I've been wanting to write a book, and now that I saw you publishing, I feel like I can do it too." And so that's I guess that's what I'm gonna say to people who wants to publish. Just don't doubt yourself. You don't need an approval. You don't need like to compare to see someone publishing, someone you know. publishing in order for you to validate that, okay, I can publish too. Just just go for it. Make the research. I've done so much research. It's not easy, but it will be very, very worth it. And it's, again, it's not for yourself only. It's for you and for anyone who's gonna find your book very either helpful or entertaining, or yeah, it's gonna be very worth it.
Absolutely. Now I'm excited
Mhm.
for your travel log. I'm a vlog. I'm gonna
Mhm.
tell you why, because when I was growing up in the 60s, there were
Mhm.
two that I remember specifically. One was the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau. I don't know if you remember him, but he was amazing. He was a filmmaker and took all these pictures of the ocean and everything. It was so
Mhm.
beautiful of the wildlife. And also there
Wow.
was World Adventures of a World Adventure series of George Perot. That was also amazing. Maybe you might check those out. You might get some ideas. It was amazing because traveling the world, you see how other people live, and you get an opportunity to see that we're more the same than we are different. We have many of the same concerns and
Mhm.
the same issues. Okay, we just live in a different environment, and you get a chance to get engrossed in the culture, the food, the history, the art, the music. And as I travel to these different places, it just makes you humble, and it just makes you realize how many things, like living in the United States, how many things that we take for granted. Okay,
Mhm.
and it just enriches your life.
Mhm. Yes, I really I'm now very interested with that you mentioned. I'm gonna ask for the I'm gonna ask for the titles again later. But yeah, especially for traveling, that is so true. Before I didn't even know that I wanted to travel. It just picked me, like traveling chose me. It just happened, and then when I did, I realized like, wow, it's very humbling. You meet so many people, you hear so many stories, and you realize like, wow, there's so much to learn, to see, to respect, so many things. And yeah, I've learned so much, and yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'll try to find that.
I'll make sure to send it to you. It was very,
Yeah.
very interesting for someone like me growing up in the inner city of Detroit, or regardless of wherever you live. It just makes
Mhm.
you see the world through that individual's eyes, and
Yeah.
it just brings meaning. It just
Mhm.
brings joy and beauty, things that you have never even thought was possible,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes, that is very true. I seriously, like there are so many things in my life that when I look back, I'm like, wow, like I didn't even know that was possible. Exactly. Like I never like okay, one example, let me just mention because I was in since I was studying computer science, I remember in school we had this like a class trip to Singapore, and there were only two of us who couldn't go because of financial, problems. So we were so jealous, and we're like, wow, like Singapore was the dream to us. It was like as a computer, as an IT student, it was like Singapore is just the place to be, but we couldn't even go. And then when everyone came back from Singapore, they were showing us pictures and talking about their experience, and it was so like sad for us. But I never thought that I could ever go to Singapore. And then yeah, fast forward again, I got this job, and the training was in Singapore. It was all expense paid. I didn't have to pay for anything. So I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was possible. But yeah, Yeah, there's so many things. It's crazy how much you learn if you just be patient and be humble and just keep working hard. That's really all that is, you know.
Absolutely. Now talk to me, how do you, because you have this art life coach certification.
Mhm.
So how do you blend in coaching with everything else that you're doing?
Well, actually, when I coached my colleagues before, that was starting 2017, 18, yeah. And I was in this company and I trained the some of my colleagues for like 2 to 3 years. I trained and coached them. And then after this, when I moved to another company, I also um, coached like I think 5 of them. But it was yeah, it was mostly it was all of them were really connected to work. So it was part of the schedule, you know. I didn't need to have time. But once I started to separate that from work, it's yeah, that's what exactly what I'm trying to put here on Substack because it's not all the time that people are very confident to reach out, or you know, they're not comfortable to reach out. So it's hard to, you know, to really see who needs it. And I remember last year someone did message me and she was already like, yeah, yeah, let's schedule and this, and we were about to have our call or our first meeting, and suddenly she just vanished. She didn't, I couldn't call, I didn't contact her, she didn't reply. I was worried because what happened, you know? I don't even know where she went anymore, and she was already so sure about meeting me and she just disappeared. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like now I want to really put it out there to really, you know, to just be here and wait till someone reaches out, because some people are just you know, waiting for the right time. And I want them to know that I'm right here. You know, I'm here when you're ready. So yeah, so no one has reached out yet. I think I've mentioned that the last call, and that's fine. Like again, you know, some people will find their time, and you just got to be ready when they are.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because when I first came to Substack, um, I I was under the mindset that I really didn't want to divulge any personal information. Okay.
Hmm.
And just, just to write, but in order to build trust, we must be vulnerable.
Yeah.
We must give of ourselves. We must let people in and show them who we are, because we're the same way. I'm not going to spend my money with you if I don't know anything
Hmm.
about you, if I don't trust you, like you, or something about you for me
Hmm.
to take out my credit card and give you
Yeah,
my
yeah,
money. You got to give me
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Okay. So my thought process is the same way. Okay. Well, what am I giving people? If I want them to subscribe, if I want
Hmm.
them to pay for coaching, what am I
Hmm.
providing them? Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
these are the things that I'm asking myself. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to give more if I want to get something. And that's the attitude we have to have in life. Okay.
Yes.
The world don't owe us nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people out there calling themselves coaches who are coaches
Hmm.
legitimately. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do we set ourselves apart from other people? Okay.
Hmm.
It's not what we say, it's what we do.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Show me. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
maybe we can talk. Okay.
Hmm.
So as we're talking about coaching, I'm starting to see, especially with AI now, I'm starting to
Hmm.
see where you have, AI coaches, AI
Yeah.
therapists. So not
Yeah.
only
I've
are we
heard.
competing with other coaches, we're also competing with AI. So what's your thought on
Yeah.
this?
Well, I actually had a conversation with that with someone like 2 months ago. I saw someone message in this group chat, and that person was asking, yeah, what do you think about AI coaching? And I told them, I remember messaging saying like, you know, first of all, AI is already taking over graphic designing and programming. Like I'm as a designer and and website designer, I already can see the difference, how hard it is to get a job. And for coaching, it's not just about the job, it's also about real human connection. It's like you can't get that from a robot. Yes, the robot can imitate, feelings, they can imitate all this from humans, but it's always different. And I saw this also this conversation with between apparently from Elon Musk and Keanu Reeves. I forgot. I
Okay.
randomly saw it. Yeah, I randomly saw it somewhere, but apparently they were arguing about that, like human connection in regards to movies. And it's the same thing. Like people can see, technology and all that. It's good effects, yes, but there's always a difference when it's human connection. It's really different. So yeah, as coaching, like maybe that's why people aren't reaching out anymore, because they are trying this AI thing. But I just hope that they won't get misled, because a lot of people already are. And I can see like people are talking about like healing. They're talking about, these coaches are talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna charge you this much and I'm gonna heal you. But you look at them and it's like, is that really, you know, how you should heal? Like if you are really concerned about the person, you wouldn't go say, hey, I'm gonna heal you, but you're gonna pay me this amount of money. Like, so for me, it's like prove yourself first, exactly as you said. Like show yourself. And it was the same for me. At first, I didn't want to be vulnerable at first. I just wanted to open a Substack just to sell my books. But then I realized, wait, there is a community here, and there are people who actually need, need some of your services or this and that. And so, yeah, so I had to show like from the post that I showed some reviews from my coaches before, them telling, putting up there that how I've actually coached them. And yeah, it's more about listening. It's not about like ordering you what to do or telling you, giving you instructions. It's about really understanding. So as
I'm
I
gl-
really agree with you.
I'm glad you mentioned that because sometimes I am that person giving out instructions and stuff like that because
Hmm.
of my religious background and because I was
Oh
in the
yeah, sure.
military. I'm
Mhm.
marching, giving you marching orders. And then I have to realize these are human beings. They are not in the military. They are not kids. They don't need to be told what to do. I'm like, oh my God, I keep doing this. Why I keep
Yeah,
doing that? Okay.
I can completely understand that, because like also as an athlete, like hearing that from my coach, athlete like my training coach is like you have to get used to it. That's funny.
Okay, I'm your biggest cheerleader. That's the reason why
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing it. Okay,
But it's
I'm cheering you on.
but it's it's
That's what I'm
it's
telling
out of
myself.
yeah. But with your case, it's also out of, it's out of good intentions. It's not about like just following the book. That's was my point. Like some people just go by the book because they're just reading about it. But for us, like we have experienced it. You have experienced it as being in the military, and this is what you're contributing. This is what you're offering, and so yeah, we really just have to wait for someone who thinks that, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But what I want to say is, even with that, they say that people have to hear your message 7 times before they decide to buy. Okay.
Yes,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe it takes 30 times. Okay.
yeah,
But the thing of it is,
maybe,
in the meantime, we have bills to pay. So you never put all your eggs in
yeah,
one basket. Okay.
yes,
You do
hmm,
coaching, you do public speaking, you do writing, you have to do a number of things. You got that pie chart. So uh coaching is maybe 10%. Okay. You do other things, joint ventures,
yeah.
partnerships. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Just when you think you're not uh but nothing's happening. That's when you get your first client, your second, your third. Boom.
Yes.
You just have to keep manifesting. And like you were
Mhm.
talking about, you manifest on that job, that place where you wanted to
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
Singapore, same thing. Okay.
Mhm.
We just have to keep being consistent, keep showing
Mm.
up,
Yeah.
and for me, I'm starting to raise the bar. Okay. I'm going to start giving them more things,
Mhm.
more things to look forward to,
Yeah.
and,
Mhm.
and then people, they're whole. They don't need fixing. They might need
Mhm.
a little, you know,
Listing.
uplifting,
Yes.
but they're not broken. If they're broken, then they need therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't help them, you
Yeah.
know? So there it is. And
Yeah.
that's where we are today. So anything else you would like to share?
Um, no, I guess, yeah, I just wanted to, you already mentioned, but the book, it's actually my sample. I got my sample copy here. Yeah, so
All right.
it arrived, last Monday. Yeah, Monday, no, few days ago. And this is just the sample copy, and I've already approved to them to print it, the 50 copies for now. So yeah, hopefully it gets available soon, but as of now, it's only available for ebook. And yeah, it's again, it's straightforward. It's just like just like in the military. It's not about just, talking about spiritual healing. I literally said like this is not spiritual healing. This is some guide to really just do the work. Get up and do the work, and everything will keep going if you also keep going. Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love the name of it. I want to
Yeah.
definitely read it. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I just want to touch again on your travel log because Morocco is a place that I
Mhm.
wanted to visit because I have a nephew that lives in
Oh,
Madrid. Okay. So
oh,
I'm
okay.
like, if I'm when I go visit him in Madrid, it makes sense for me to go to Morocco and
Mhm.
Portugal. They're all three countries right there
Wow.
together. Okay.
Yes.
So talk to us about the travel log. What made you decide to
Well,
do it?
in Morocco, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, Morocco has been one of my um top places to go ever since I started to surf because a lot of surfers say that Morocco is a really good place to surf. And yeah, so I've been wanting to go, and finally, yeah, just early this year, I was able to go to the surf spots. Everything all around Morocco is actually beautiful. It's not just the surf. I only knew about surfing, but then when we traveled to the other places, I realized, wow, it's a beautiful country. Although it's kind of tough because as a woman being in a very strictly Muslim country, I've actually out of all my travels, I've never experienced because there are also Muslims in Indonesia and even in the Philippines, like but the ones in Morocco are really completely different. They're very, very powerful
Conservative?
and yeah, but also I mean the men are very how would I say, sorry to say this, but they're very aggressive. So yeah, sometimes they also really look down to a lot of them look down like when I try to talk or order something, they're just like, "Ugh," like angry to see me. So yeah, it's kind of tough to manage that, but the everything else, like it's as long as you just, respect and just keep your, um dress decently, of course, then yeah, there won't be any problems. So
Yes,
really
that's the
beautiful.
thing. That's the thing when you're in certain places, it's good to know that you have to dress modestly. You can't have your elbows and showing
Yeah.
and all of these things and your hair. And so
Mhm.
if you dress appropriately and you're respectful, then normally
Mhm.
you're treated the same, respectfully
Yeah.
because they know you're American and that you're spending money
Mhm.
and they want to definitely make sure you have a good time. And
They're
so other
very
people can come and visit their country and spend money as well. Okay.
yeah. They're yeah. But I would if I were to also suggest a place, like I don't know what type of place you love going to, but like when it comes to like a peaceful city, Chef Shawen was like one of the best I've ever seen. It's so beautiful there. The food is great everywhere in Morocco actually. And yeah, and the beaches are all nice, like in Casablanca, Tagazou, like all around the coast is always beautiful, so you won't have problems finding that. Yeah, and then the mountains.
Amazing.
Yeah. So really
Okay.
just enjoy like you can choose mountains, beach, desert, try them all. It's all beautiful.
Absolutely. And once you leave that beautiful country, then your life is enriched. You've met new people, you've had new experiences, and these are the things
Yes,
that you take with you throughout the rest of your life and share with
yes,
others. Okay?
yes. That's so true.
So, yes, I've been truly blessed today by our by this live. I want to let you know you're an awesome person. I don't know how you find the time to do all of the things, but it's amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you. I think it's also because of my multi-passionate ADD, but I I'm always like trying to find something to do. So yeah. But thank you so much for having me, Margaret.
Thank you so much for your time, and you have a wonderful week.
You too. Have a good one.
All right, bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.